Have you ever seen your child lose their temper and you as a parent didn't know how to react to that? Are you worried your child won't know how to handle their emotions as they grow up? Hi, I am Riddhi Savla, founder of Ikigai Global Prep School, also an early childhood educator, teacher trainer, and parenting coach. And today's topic for Parenting Simplified is how to raise an emotionally intelligent child. Most of us have heard of the terms EQ or emotional intelligence. For those of us who haven't, Dr. Daniel Goleman back in 1995 introduced this concept. He realized and researched that there has got to be something apart from regular intelligence or IQ that sets a person for life success. Research over so many years has shown that about 70% of schools focus on emotional intelligence versus IQ. 90% of the top performers in any job or any industry have shown to have a high EQ versus an IQ. Also, today, most multinationals and most companies across the world are placing more importance on emotional skills and emotional intelligence when hiring new people on board. Also, most companies are leaving aside up to 60% training budgets for emotional intelligence training. That's got to mean something. So, what can you and I, as parents, do to make sure our children are growing up to be emotionally intelligent? Before we understand what parents can do to raise emotionally intelligent children, it's important for us to understand the 5 components that make up emotional intelligence. They're very, very simple, and here I'm enlisting them for you. The first component is understanding your own emotions. For any child or any individual to be emotionally intelligent, you need to have self-awareness, which is understanding your own emotions and accepting them as they happen. The second component is self-regulation, which basically means once you have identified the emotion or feeling you're experiencing, you learn to manage or regulate it. I am not saying that if you feel angry, you try to control it. Control it means that you're suppressing it, and we don't want that. We want our children to accept even the negative emotions and the positive ones, and then regulate, channelize, or manage how to express these emotions. That's your second component. The third component is empathy. So basically, being aware of another person's emotions. Very, very closely aligned to the first point, which is once you become aware of your own emotions, then you learn to regulate them. The third is to become aware of other people's emotions and empathize with them. The fourth is once you empathize, you learn social skills. So helping other people to regulate and manage their emotions. So the first 2 and the next 2 points are in close alignment with each other. And the fifth one is motivation, which is constantly keeping yourself motivated to accept any feelings you may feel over life, positive or negative, and keeping up the motivation to regulate them, channelize them in socially appropriate manners. So those are the 5 components that make emotionally intelligent people. And now I'm going to share some do's and don'ts so that you can raise an emotionally intelligent child. So let's do this with 5 easy tips as we go. The first tip is to accept all sorts of emotions. Show children that it is okay to experience positive as well as negative emotions and feelings. It's okay to be happy, excited, surprised, but it is also okay to be scared, angry, upset, disappointed, and sad. And while you do this acceptance of positive as well as negative emotions, the second tip is to label these emotions. Give children the vocabulary or the words for each feeling that they may experience. Children don't know these words. They are not born with the language of these words. They only know how to vent out their emotions. So as mommies and daddies, you need to label these words, label these feelings for them. Once they realize, oh, I'm feeling upset. Oh, I'm infuriated. Oh, I'm enraged. Oh, I'm happy. I am elated. They learn what degrees of an emotion they're feeling, and then they can regulate it better. The third one is my most favorite one, which is be a role model. I think this point is applicable across any skill that you're trying to develop in your child. If you as a parent are following all the things you expect them to follow, the child just learns by imitation, right? So if you're a parent who when gets angry is throwing things around or is fist bumping the wall or is using foul language, your child will probably learn the same thing and pick it up as they go. Whereas if you're a parent who channelizes their anger when they feel that, maybe you open a diary and you're noting down what you're feeling, or that you go into your shell, listen to some music until you calm down, or you may resort to yoga or meditation. When you show children that there are positive ways to channelize your negative emotions, children learn that because parents are the best role models. The fourth tip is empathize and practice empathy. Show children how you are empathetic towards the people at home, towards people in your family when you may have disagreements. Also, how you are empathetic not just to people at home, but people at work, people at school, even animals and anybody you meet on the road. Children learn empathy only by watching it and then by getting to practice it, which brings me to the last and the fifth tip, which is pretend play. Children love taking up roles, right? They love role play, they love becoming somebody else. Why don't you set up a corner in the house where the two of you or the three of you pretend to take up different people's roles, and that's where you bring in some sort of emotions. I'm not saying it always has to be about negative emotions, it also must be to celebrate positive emotions. So bring those in as you take up being different people and take up roles, pretend play, and show the child how you would act when you felt a certain emotion. When children see these things happen in daily life, emotional intelligence just gets embedded in the way they function. Let me tell you, there is no one formula to achieve the highest level of emotional intelligence. We are all learning as we go. We are all trying, making mistakes, and then evolving with time. So that's what children need. That's what even we need as parents and adults. So let's make sure we help children become emotionally intelligent, because I think, and research of course supports it, is that as time progresses, EI and EQ, which is emotional quotient, are going to be more important and much, much more important than simple IQ or intelligence. And a balance of both, the right levels of both, will definitely ensure success in future life and, of course, long-term happiness. I hope you liked this topic. This was, of course, a topic that you all voted for. I will be back with the next topic next week, which is going to be on parenting styles, which is also the one that was kind of close to the EQ IQ discussion. So I'll be back. In the meanwhile, please like our video if you really like it. Hit the like button. Share it with more and more parents, because that's the idea. Leave your comments, leave your questions, any insights you may have, anything that you may disagree with. We'd be happy to know what it is that parents really experience with their children when they try out the strategies that we share. We have launched a YouTube channel that goes by the same name, Ikigai Global Prep School. So please give us a subscribe. Hit the bell icon if you want notifications on when we're uploading new parenting webinar videos or new storytelling and children's activity videos as well. I will see you next week. Happy parenting till then. Stay safe, stay home. Bye-bye.